Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here at Virtuoso Travel Week in Las Vegas, actually in the Bellagio. I'm here with a familiar face, if you watched us last year, Helen McCabe-Young, who is the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Virtuoso. And Helen and I go back pretty far. We've known each other for a long time, even before you were with Virtuoso.
That's right.
And we actually once had a long dinner together at a Virtuoso dinner, but that's another story. But today we're here to talk about marketing, and here at Virtuoso, Helen actually got up on stage in front of the opening general session and really revealed all the new marketing that Virtuoso has planned, and it really is a lot of good stuff. So we're going to talk about that and more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Helen, great to see you again, always, and it was a great presentation the other day. And I want to start by asking something you started talking about. You're kind of using Virtuoso marketing to optimize the business of your members, your Virtuoso agency members, so they get to work with more high-value travelers. Is that correct? Is that what you're trying to do?
That's exactly what we're trying to do. You know, our advisors have a great influence over consumers out there. We have spent the last couple of years really diving deep into data to identify who the highest value consumers are, those travelers that not only spend, but also would value the advice of an advisor. And so we've really gone deep in identifying that market globally. That's an important factor here. We've been looking at all the different markets we're growing into as well. We've been adding general managers, so our marketing is following that and supporting that growth.
Now, what does the affluent traveler look like today? Because you mentioned you had some statistics and things like that. Are they getting younger? Are they more active? Are they more willing to work with travel advisors?
You know, across the board, yes, to all of those things.
We were talking about asked and answered questions.
Yeah,
that was one,
right. But, you know, we're seeing a lot of, wide generations, right? Yeah. We've been talking a lot about that. It is getting younger to some extent. You know,
even in the luxury space.
In the luxury space, big time. 1 in 5 ultra high net worth individuals are self-made folks under 40 years old. But we still have, the boomers traveling and spending with time on their hands and the money to do it. And what COVID did for all of us was really kind of propel everybody to value travel even more and to go out there and seize the moment, do it now, don't wait. Bucket lists are being...
Yeah, people are actually making those bucket lists work after all these aspirational says, hey, I'm going to do it now, right?
Yeah, they're doing it now. People are not waiting. But some people, if they don't book early, are going to have to wait a little bit. You got to kind of get ahead of it there.
No, absolutely. And of course, now you got to get ahead of it because there's no space. People are actually booking. This has been an amazing year. I think a lot better than people thought it was going to be. Everybody said 2023, and I think you had some stats that overall the travel market is maybe not back till 24 or 25, but the luxury space is here now.
The luxury space is definitely back, yes. The wider traveling audience, the more mass and premium is not fully back. And of course, the industry does need that volume. But at the higher level price and the affluent, luxury is leading the way back. So business is booming in the luxury space, which is the space we operate in.
Absolutely. Lucky you.
Lucky us. Yeah.
Now, how price sensitive are luxury travelers today, given that, the prices are going up and people seem to still be going, at least for now?
Well, I think the market's telling us that they're going anyway. And they value travel. They don't want to wait. They want to go. There is some, compression in terms of, the availability of some things that's raising some rates on some things, but the affluent traveler wants their experience and they're willing to pay for it. It's part of their life. They weren't able to do it for a long time. They're going to live their life with travel again, and they're going for it.
And they're also using travel advisors more, and specifically you said Virtuoso advisors.
We've seen a 50% increase, in fact, of even DIYers coming into asking for advisors since 2020. Our advisors are reporting a huge influx of DIYers. Of course, what we want to do from the marketing side is we want to attract those travelers into our funnel for our advisors who actually are going to value an advisor, not just for the, how do I get through the complexity of an airport, but also for really recognizing the advisors for elevating their experience. And I think that's one of the things that, people who are new to using advisors discover, and they're pretty blown away by just how much better their travel experience is when they use one of our advisors.
And absolutely. For the last 2 years, I think travel advisors have been good at telling them all the COVID regulations and everything else if they work for them. But now, as we're doing that, everybody's sort of dropped a lot of those requirements. So now they're realizing they can do the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. So
exactly.
the real trip, right?
Exactly, the real trip. And sometimes people are finding their way to an advisor because they do want to have somebody who's got their back. Of course, that's a very practical reason to not hire an advisor, but have an advisor. But they're really discovering the experience and the recognition. When you walk through the front door of a hotel and you check in at the front desk and you're recognized, for being a traveler that a Virtuoso advisor has sent to that hotel, it feels good. Travelers feel it when they check in. They feel it when they board the ships. They feel it when they travel around, and they get those little extra insider.
They're recognized, right?
They're recognized,
Yeah.
and I think that's what the affluent traveler seeks. It's not about just points and rewards. It really is about that experience and being recognized as a traveler and as a virtuoso.
Absolutely. And one of the things you've done, and you announced this year, was you changed a few of the marketing things you do at Virtuoso to really rev up this whole process of getting more affluent travelers into the network, so to speak, working with your advisors. Now, and the three things that I want to focus on that you mentioned were, one, you've changed the magazine. We'll talk about that first, and then we're going to talk about how you've changed another thing that your CEO, Matthew Upchurch, has really been focused on is Wanderlist, and we'll explain what that is quickly. And then the final thing, and I'll leave maybe that as a surprise, but it's a huge new campaign that you're looking at doing to really, I'll let you describe it, but it really popularize advisors, but also almost turn luxury travelers into virtuosos themselves. So let's talk about that. Let's start with the magazine. What have you done to the magazine? First of all, the big thing is you've changed the name.
We've rebranded the magazine, formerly known as Virtuoso Life, now Virtuoso the magazine, but we've revamped it, we've reimagined it. The editorial team has done a fabulous job of really bringing it a bold spirit forward. We recognize it's a new day in travel. It's vibrant. Our new cover for the September issue is really colorful and vibrant. It's called Global Cool, and we've also opened up wider photography, so bigger imagery, more white space for editorial to breathe. And we haven't lost Virtuoso Life. What we've done is we've taken that inside the magazine.
Okay.
So it's now inside the magazine as a regular feature, and that is about having different influencers, creators, trendsetters, leaders talk about their Virtuoso life and their travels. So it's a more personal and intimate way to express Virtuoso life, and just bring it to life inside the magazine rather than on the cover of the magazine.
No, and it looks great, and I think we're supposed to get a copy in our rooms later. I'll take a look at it. Being an old magazine guy, and now I'm online all the time. But now the second thing you did is you have worked on augmenting Wanderlist. And first of all, remind us what Wanderlist is.
Well, I like to say it's really sort of the social connector for the luxury leisure travel space, and what it does is it enables people to dream and plan and create lists and bucket lists of things they want to do, but to connect that to an advisor. Okay. So the advisor has the advantage of sort of climbing inside the consumer's head a little bit and seeing what they're interested in, which makes their job even better in terms of creating experiences on top of that. So they're able to get a feel for what people want. Now, some of the new things that we've done is, one, we continue to iterate the experience. So we're continuously making the experience better and easier and stickier. But one of the new features we have now is the ability to publish lists. So
that's interesting. What exactly does that mean, publish? It's because people go in and they put out their travel dreams and what they like, and now you can publish all that?
You can publish all that. So we have members, we have advisors who create lists. We have partners, some of our suppliers who create lists as well, just to get some excitement about some of the interesting things that they have expertise on. But consumers create lists too. Anybody can publish a list, and what that means is an advisor now can take their expertise and they can take that and push it out into the public across different media channels. Whereas
with
before,
the hope is people will see it, be inspired themselves, right?
That's exactly right. So they're attracted to their expertise, or if you're a travel supplier, a partner of ours, you're able to showcase the interesting things you can do in that destination or at your hotel, etc. So
that's Wanderlist. So I'm glad you're popularizing. I know you've been working on that for a few years, and Matthew Upchurch again is really keen on this particular thing because he believes this is the way you can keep your affluent travelers together as a community, and also, connect them directly to advisors here in the network who could then help them plan travel for life, right?
That's right, and also, travel for life. So, it's not just plan one trip at a time necessarily. We have people who are really planning their life's dream of travel. You don't have to go tomorrow, you don't have to go next year, but you can start, creating lists around those things you want to do in your lifetime. And there's something we call return on life.
Right.
And
He's been talking about that for a while. Right?
Yeah, well, Wanderlist is one more way to really kind of pay that off and make sure that you do that in your lifetime. Just like having a financial advisor, you want to have a travel advisor, and now we have a tool that allows consumers to also dream and plan, but really connect with their advisor in a different, unique way.
Now, the final thing I want to talk to you about is one that got a big reception at the your general session speech. It's your new campaign, I won't. It's called So Virtuoso, and you gave a wonderful video that really is incredible. To talk about what this campaign is and what you want it to do.
Well, first of all, this is the first consumer-facing campaign this organization's ever done. And of this scale. And it will be a global campaign. So Virtuoso, as you said, it encapsulates what we discovered with a lot of input from the network, from our own colleagues, what this organization is about. Right. It is about elevating the experience. It is about elevating the game, and it is about operating in a unique way and serving the consumer, serving the traveler. Okay. And so we felt that this idea of So Virtuoso was a way of putting a star on top of it. What we wanted to do, the most important thing, is make it about what this organization has always done. Our advisors have always provided incredible care, kindness, thoughtfulness, in the know experience. Right. to deliver those travel trips, those experiences to consumers like nobody else. And our data from YouGov also punctuated that. What we saw this year was a growing gap in the value that this organization provides in the business, but also to the travelers, 6 times more likely to rely on their advisor.
And also spend more, right?
And they spend more, but they also rely on their advisor as their source for making travel decisions more than anything else, which was a big lead on on some competitors and on DIYers for sure.
Now, how are you going to roll out this campaign? Because the video you showed was really amazing, and everybody kind of loved it.
Well, thank you. I mean, that was the idea, right? We revealed the concept here because we want to get the network involved. We want to get advisors and partners involved on the front end. So this is not done and here it is and follow us along. This is about inviting the stories from the network, which we are doing now. We're asking for stories to perpetuate our content. Right after Virtuoso Travel Week, we're headed home. We're starting to create the assets and the production for the campaign with the input from our partners and our members. And we'll probably start to roll it out in the 4th quarter. We're going to take the campaign global. Okay. What we do in each market will vary depending on that market's media. And we'll be looking to create relationships with media partners who get it, who understand what we're trying to do and who are willing to coordinate and collaborate with us as well as we roll it out globally.
So we're talking social media, we're talking maybe advertisements in magazines with your partners, we're talking maybe TV, I don't know.
Well,
that video should be on TV. Put it that way.
Well, video will be a big component of what we do just because it emotes, with both visuals and with sound. So that will be a big component. But you're right, we will absolutely be on social media. And again, selectively, depending on the market, we will choose media where we feel we can reach the affluent traveler and on the criteria that we have established for being high value to Virtuoso, meaning they not only meet from an affluent standpoint, but they also have an inclination through their behaviors to likely, appreciate and value being advised.
No, that's great. And of course, the other thing is you're trying almost to bring travelers in as being part of Virtuosos themselves, right?
Well, you got it. Again, what one day, we really do want to hear not only from our network, but from the travelers that they, provide great experiences to, that those travelers as well consider themselves virtuosos.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to tell us about that's a lot of stuff, I got to tell you. You did a great presentation. Any other marketing changes that you're making?
Not so much changes, but we're building and growing. We're still hiring people, and
back to hiring, which is great.
Back to hiring, which is great, and there are a lot more things coming around the pike too that we didn't even share here yet at Virtuoso Travel Week.
We'll have another interview, all right?
We got to save something, James.
Well, Helen, it's as always great to see you here. It's hopefully becoming a tradition, you've always got something new and something great to tell both at Virtuoso members and suppliers. But I think you're doing some fantastic stuff with this new marketing campaign.
Well, that's great. It's always great to spend time with you, James, and thanks for taking your time out this morning to have a chat and for coming to Virtuoso Travel Week yet again.
Wouldn't miss it. I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.